Es ist geschafft, Nicole, 4-mal Gold. Das gab's noch nie.
And now, Nicole Uphoff, ladies and gentlemen. All About Horses, a film with Nicole Uphoff. Nicole Uphoff is able to talk to us, and she's going to explain how horses are schooled in dressage.
The best way to teach the piaffe is to do as we're doing now. I'm not in fact doing anything at the moment, but he's so excited that he's starting to piaffe on his own. And you have to exploit this and at some point give the aids automatically. Well, that wasn't intentional. Now we're starting the trot, and I'm trying to stay well down in the saddle and keep my hands and legs very still.
The medium trot with an energetic stride.
Horses should throw their forelegs well forward. That mistake in the middle shouldn't occur as a rule. It was because he's a bit dazzled by the spotlight. Now we're doing a collected walk. The stride shouldn't cover too much ground. Now I'm going to canter to the left. So I'm shifting my weight to the left, taking my right calf back and pressing with the inner calf. So that's a canter left, moving to the left. Right, and now I'll show you the flying change at every stride.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, bravo, 16, 17, 18.
He was in good form, so he just carried on. Now I'm going to try a piaffe, which is a form of trotting on the spot. He does this very nicely. The transition ought to be as smooth as possible. And this is the passage.
Isn't that splendid?
You can make another transition back to the piaffe. Let's try that. That isn't right, so we'll go back to the passage. He still doesn't always quite understand the aids, whether he's to do the passage or piaffe or just halt, so I'll do it again.
It's a communication problem. He has to understand her.
I really had a lot of fun with that show because the Schleier Hall in Stuttgart is one of my favourite arenas. I've been very successful there with my horses. But those are the highlights. You don't get them every day. It takes a very long time to school a horse to that standard. What do we actually know of the nature of horses? What makes them feel good? Well, one place we might find an answer is in a pasture in the early morning.
Horses are gregarious animals. Feelings are quickly communicated to the whole group. Their natural instinct for flight protects each individual animal. Horses can be quite rough with one another, but when they have plenty of space, there are seldom any injuries. When anything upsets them, even the larger foals look to see what their mothers do. They copy every movement, learning in this way how to behave. Horses enjoy company. They nibble each other's hides, which is good for grooming. At 6 months, foals still try to find their mother's teats, but often don't remember too clearly where they belong. Horses are constant eaters. They graze nearly all day. Half-grown foals are sometimes treated rather roughly. If they get in a mare's way, they're liable to be bitten. There's no option but to turn tail and move off. The next mare is no friendlier. But most grazing animals get on well and even play together. They spend a lot of time just relaxing. The foals suckle and the atmosphere is peaceful. Sensitive joints are given a rest, and hooves are licked. Movement and feeding are always followed by a rest phase, and the horses seek the protection of the group again. Horses can sleep standing up, ever prepared to take flight. Horses enjoy moving, and they can move in various ways with different paces. The walk is the horse's slowest pace. It's a 4-beat pace with either 2 or 3 hooves simultaneously touching the ground. There should be a good length of stride, with the hind legs stepping beyond the prints made by the front hooves. The trot is the pace with which a horse can cover long distances swiftly but without tiring. The hooves are set down in this sequence. Simultaneously, left hind leg, right foreleg, right hind leg, left foreleg. Diagonal pairs of legs move together. When the hooves leave the ground, there's a moment of suspension. It's a 2-beat rhythm. The canter, the swiftest pace, is a 3-beat movement. After 3 hoofbeats comes a phase of complete suspension when all 4 legs are in the air. The canter is asymmetrical. When the horse's right foreleg leads, making longer strides than the left, we speak of the canter right. Otherwise, it's a canter left. The sequence in the canter right is first left hind leg, then right hind and left foreleg, and finally right foreleg, followed by the suspension phase. Iceland ponies are capable of 2 further paces, the tölt and the pace. This Iceland stallion is demonstrating the tölt, an intermediate gait which is very easy on the rider and makes riding over rough country and long distances very comfortable. And this is the pace. In the pace, the movement of the legs is not diagonal but lateral. Right hind leg and right foreleg strike the ground almost simultaneously. Off hind with off fore, near hind with near fore. Like a normal trot, it's a 2-beat gait.
I think every rider must take responsibility for giving his horse sufficient exercise. It's no good leaving a horse in the stable for 23 hours and then perhaps giving it 1 hour of exercise. Horses don't need any rest days, though their riders may.
A horse's tremendous joy in free movement is obvious in this herd of stallions at Marbach Stud when their paddock gate is open.